there's definitely some kind of weird trait in here. I don't know if it has anything to do with the blue line or if it's just something else that's going on here. But it gives you that crazy, crazy looking tail, and it gives you this yellowish orange interspersed with the blue. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. And I'm finally getting myself in action. I am going to start listing some snakes on Morph Market. I think it's about time. I have a lot of stuff. So that's going to motivate me also to do more videos. So, or maybe the videos are motivating me to list snakes. So we're going to be looking at one particular boa litter that I'm really, I love it. I've kind of just been leaving it in the rack. It's been growing really well. All the babies have put a lot of size on. And boas usually slower at gaining than ball pythons, but these boas are growing really fast. The breeding was an Aztec Motley Sunglow, which is a Motley gene is incomplete dominant, Aztec incomplete dominant. Both of those you don't want to breed to each other. So, I mean, not to each other, but you don't want to breed Motley to Motley because you can get a lethal form. And Aztec and Aztec, if you have a super Aztec, that's not a good either, supposedly. But individually, they're really cool morphs. They have some really busy pattern that kind of puts more back into the snake, which I kind of like because you get better contrast with those morphs. They're darker too, which is kind of cool. And we're using the sharp line of albino, and by adding the hypo gene, we turn the albino into what we call a Sunglow. So we have Motley Aztec Sunglow female that is being bred, that was bred, I should say, by a blue line pastel. So that's my blue line boa. If you guys follow my videos, you know I have the really blue male that I had imported from Europe, and he's a Sunglow as well. So he's a hypo sharp albino, and we bred those two together this past season. We got some really great babies. They're almost a year old. They were born in March. Put some nice size on. We're gonna go take a look and see how they progressed, and I'm listing all of them. So if you guys want to act, now's the chance to get into number one, possibly the blue line project, depending on how much blue is expressed. And then secondly, get some of those great genes, Motley, Aztec, and sharp albino all in one snake. So without further ado, let's take a look. All right, blue tongue skink. Some my little mixture of cat food, insect pellets. They're little pellets that are predominantly insect protein. And I mix that into the cat food, and I put a little calcium powder on top, calcium vitamin D powder. And she's loving it. She's scoffing it up. Now you can see why they're called blue tongue skinks. Those beautiful blue tongues. It's funny, blue tongues are not big eaters, at least mine aren't. But if you feed them once a week, I feed them every 5 days usually, like some wet food. I keep dry food in with them, so if they want to nibble on it, they can. But they're not big eaters. I find that they just will eat once a week, once every, maybe 5 days, like I said. But they won't even eat that whole dish. Sometimes they'll just take a few nibbles here and there, and then they're good. They're definitely not overeaters. I don't find. Now I know other people tell me differently. I think the young ones are bigger eaters. I think as they get older, they kind of slow down. Their metabolism a little bit slows down. We're gonna probably brumate this girl in the next, probably end of the month. Doing a little bit later brumation this year. But I haven't been successful with breeding blue tongues at all, so I'll try again this year. All right, I just got bit by this girl. Trying to make a video for you guys. Aztec, Motley, sharp Sunglow. Beautiful girl. She's given me 2 beautiful litters over the course of her life that I've had her. She's a 2016. And she ate yesterday, so I figured, oh, she's fine. I moved her a little bit. Man, she bit me. I'll tell you one thing, though. Pablo has this little trick. He kind of tickles the tail, or twists the tail. If you twist the tail, they let go. Because I had him first spray some antiseptic, like some kind of Lysol-ish type stuff on her. She was biting harder, and she got me right on the pinky. It was You can see my blood on her right there. It did not tickle. Anyway, so she is a, once again, Sharp Sunglow Aztec Motley. You can see the squared off patterns here. And the Motley striped tail. She's a beautiful girl. She's actually usually really mellow. I guess she's still in food mode. She wants to eat. And she's getting the year off anyway. She doesn't need to eat that much. She is going to be, well, she is the mother of the litter I'm going to show you. She was bred by my blue line Sunglow. I'm going to show you him in a minute too. And you're going to see the beautiful babies that we produce. I wanted you to see the beautiful colors she has and the contrast so that you understand how these babies are going to look when they get older. Because she has just gotten better and better. All right, here's my blue lines breeding, or I don't know if they're breeding, they're definitely hanging out with each other. There's my male. That's the father, the sire of the clutch I'm going to show you. That's the sire of the boa litter I'm going to show you in a minute. You can see he's got a lot of blues in him, especially his head. And because he's the only blue line that is going to be in this breeding, you're going to see that some snakes will express it more, some snakes will express it less, and that's just the way it goes. That's why I'm going back to my blue line female, who I got with him, and they're the ones who produced my first blue line litter. Then I gave her a year off last year. He bred that Aztec last year, or this past year, and now they're going back together for 24, trying to make some more blue line stuff. So that's the story. And I wanted to show you this one, the best blue line that I produced from last year when I bred the blue line. The blue line, well, I don't know if it's the best. It's the wackiest boa I've ever seen, and he's got crazy blues in him, but he's got that white. I wanted to show you the tail, how white the tail is with the striping. There's definitely some kind of weird trait in here. I don't know if it has anything to do with the blue line or if it's just something else that's going on here, but it gives you that crazy, crazy looking tail, and it gives you this yellowish orange interspersed with the blue in the snake. Now I know I'll probably get bit again trying to take this little piece of wood off his head. Foam protected. There it is. And then here, I figured I might as well show you this other male I have, this other blue line. He's not like a wacky one. Like, he doesn't have like white on him and all kinds of crazy pattern, but he's just really, really highly saturated with blue. And so I had two different, so I get two different like kind of blue lines. Some that are more saturated and some that are weird looking. So I don't know what that means, but we'll keep an eye on them as they're growing. They're getting better as they're getting older. This is the Aztec Sharp Sunglow. Actually, possible super hypo Sunglow. It's also from the blue line male Sunglow that I have. There's a little tinge of blue in there. Every snake that I'm going to show you in this litter is going to be a little bit different and express the blue differently. As you can see, the Aztec, nice squared off saddles here. This snake is a little bit, has more of a erased looking pattern because of the hypo gene. Possible two copies of it. Beautiful red eyes, and really pretty girl. All right, here's another beautiful little litter mate. This little boy is an Aztec Motley. So this one has the Aztec and the Motley gene in it. The Aztec giving the squares, the Motley will stripe out that tail. Motley's usually got circles on top, so it kind of like makes it a busier pattern on top, whereas the Aztec alone, here, you can see the difference. This is Aztec. Blue line, there's a lot more blue in this, a lot more saturation of this snake, as opposed to the other one that didn't really have as much. More than likely, I believe this is a Sunglow. I'm pretty sure we have at least one copy of the hypo gene here. And this is a Sharp Sunglow, of course, as well. Really nice looking boy. This might be one of the nicest ones I have from this litter. It's got a lot of busyness. This is potentially a haulback, but I can't hold everything back, so probably this one will be for sale as well. All right, here's another beauty from that litter. This is a sharp Sunglow, Motley. So you see the Motley striped tail, the little round circles. There's no Aztec in this one. And this one has a lot of like blue tinges to it. And that's, if you notice this is normally like very reddish. When you put blues in there, it makes it like a brownish color, purplish color. And you get a really nice looking, beautiful looking snake. This one has got a lot. If you like contrast, look at that, the cross on its nose, head spear, whatever you want to call it, looks like a cross to me. And it's just a beauty. There's some really nice snakes. These are a year old now. I'm so happy with the way they turned out. Crazy contrast in this little girl. This is a Motley sharp Sunglow, blue line. A lot of like, I'm seeing a lot of blue, high contrast influence in this one too. Let's see if we can get this girl completely out of her hide box here. There we go. I mean, she's really, really nice. You can see on the side of her body a lot of like pinks, like pinkish blues. They're actually blues. It's hard to see with the video. These iPhones seem to correct, or they think they're correcting the, they think they're correcting the coloration when they actually make it worse. But a lot of saturation right along this here, right here. You can see this. That's definitely the blue line influence. And look at how high contrast all the markings of the snake are. Once again, really nice. I wouldn't be surprised if there might even be 2 copies of the hypo gene in here, because this doesn't even, I know it's a Motley and it doesn't look Motley because it's the hypo gene has really skewed it. And in order to skew it that much, I think you have to have 2 copies. I wouldn't be surprised if this is super hypo. This little boy is unbelievable looking, right? I would say this is probably also possible super hypo. Sharp Sunglow. There's no Motley gene, there's no Aztec in here. Just a really clean looking sharp albino Sunglow. And you can tell they all have really good temperaments too. They're all letting me handle them. This has got a lot of blue influence in here too. Look at all the blues in here. The saturation through this here. There, I don't know if the back camera picks it up, but it's got a lot of saturation. And I know there are people out there that are like real albino purists like I am, and they don't even want anything. They just want albino and hypo gene. They want really nice, clean Sunglows. This is it. Plus, you know, you get the bonus package because you don't know what's going to come out in terms of the blue line. The blue comes out over the course of, you know, the first 2 years of its life, so really nice. All right, here's an Aztec sharp Sunglow. So this is the Aztec gene. You see those squared off saddles. It's really saturated with a lot of color, this snake. There's no Motley gene in here. Is there 1 or 2 copies of hypo? I'm not sure. But I see a lot of blue influence in here. Once again, right in here, all through the side of the body. I wish I can color correct this. It's really very bluish looking. Bluish purple, almost. Really nice looking snake, look at that. That Aztec gene is so beautiful. It really is. It works so well in albino too, because albino cleans it up so much. Gorgeous snake right there. That's a nice female. Here's a really nice, another female, sharp Motley Sunglow. So it's sharp albino, hypo gene, Motley. You see that nice, beautiful striped tail with those like circular patterns on here. Once again, possible super hypo because it has disrupted the Motley quite a bit, but I'd say 1 copy. Good blue saturation along the inside here. You can see, usually this is a whitish color or yellow, but there's a lot of dark purple blues in there, which really makes this snake. And it looks like someone took like an ink pen and inked all this on here, which really enhances the pattern quite a bit. If you like a real high contrast pattern as opposed to a more diffuse or like erased pattern, this is definitely the girl you want to pick up. Now in contrast, this snake is more of an erased looking pattern. So this has got some beautiful colors in it, and it's Motley, Sunglow. Get the nice striped tail. It's a little broken up there. I don't think this is Aztec though. This is just Motley, sharp Sunglow, with the blue influence, of course. And beautiful snake. This is a boy. Obviously, you don't want to breed Motley to Motley, so if you're going to buy a pair of these for me to hopefully, try to bring the blues out more, you're going to want to pick one probably with Motley, one without Motley. Same thing with Aztec. You don't really want to breed Aztec to Aztec, so you'd want to pick out one that you don't want to have two that have an Aztec gene if you're going to breed them together. But this has got a lot of like pinks and stuff like that in that tail. If you're into tails like I am, if you're a boa tail guy, this is definitely the snake you want to grab. Beautiful little boy. Incredible looking boy. Totally different, right? Same genes, pretty much. Motley. This might not, I don't think this is Sunglow. I don't think this is a hypogene in here. And I think that's why he's so dark. I think this is just Motley, sharp albino. Look at the blues on the side of that animal. So much blue line influence in here. So dark. Really breathtaking. It could be Sunglow. I got to be honest with you, I'm not sure. So I'm going to sell it as possible. But that is really nice. All these albinos are so good, and I really believe it's the blue line influence that's making them stick out more. Once again, this is another boy. Motley, sharp albino. All right, here's what I believe is probably the best snake in the whole litter. It's got all the genes and it's got the most blue in it. This is a Aztec Motley Sunglow with tremendous saturation and blue line influence. Look at this. Look at that. Look at how colorful. This snake looks like it looks like it's an albino blood. It really does. It looks like a fire opal, I would say. Really gorgeous. Just so much reds and pinks and saturation in here. Beautiful. I like it's got a nice long head looking, beautiful ruby eye. Absolutely beautiful male. This, like I said, I think this is the best male in the whole litter. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. I hope you liked that litter I showed you. All those snakes will be available on my Morph Market account. If you want to also reach out directly to me, you can do that as well. If you're looking for some suggestions, maybe to create a pair, male and a female. I do package deals too. If you do buy a male and female, I will give you a discount. So feel free to ask questions. I love answering questions and helping you guys out, figure out what project you might want to get into. It's getting windy here in Cape Coral, Florida. You never know, we might get a little rain here. That's always good for the breeding season. Gets these snakes breeding. And I threw in those little blue lines at the end because I wanted you to see what a pure blue line which is what I bred 2 years ago. My blue line Sunglow male to my blue line Sunglow female. Hopefully once those snakes get a little older, I'll be able to take the best of the best and then breed them together and keep increasing the blue in these snakes as the generations progress. All right, guys, if you enjoy what you're seeing, show me the love. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.